Hi, everyone, and welcome. It's our first look at the Eagles and the Jacksonville Jaguars on Sunday in London. Dave Spadaro, Eagles Insider, with the Hall of Famer Brian Westbrook. And as disappointed as we are that the Eagles are 3-4, everybody in Jacksonville feels the same way about a Jaguars team that made it to the AFC Championship game last year, a Super Bowl contending team led by a great defense, and it has all fallen apart for the Jags. So Sunday, 2, 3, and 4 teams looking to get back to 500. The winner still feels like it has a really good chance in the second half of the season. The losing team, 3 and 5, difficult to get out of that hole.
Yeah, anytime that you're a successful team, we were successful last year, Super Bowl caliber football team. This Jacksonville team was in the AFC Championship game, had New England dead to the rights in that football game, ended up losing it. But to me, as I watched this team throughout the season, they've lost their identity. When Leonard Fournette went out early on the season with the hamstring, they lost their complete identity offensively and defensively. Offensively, they were built on running the football and then allowing Blake Bortles to have third and shorts to try to complete the ball downfield. Defensively, they were all about, I'm going to sit on the sideline because our offense is running the ball, controlling the time of possession on the clock, and then we're going to go out there and play lights out football as teams try to catch up to us to what we're doing offensively. They can't do that right now with Leonard Fournette being out. TJ Yeldon is not the same type of running back. That's why they make the big trade for Carlos Hyde.
Yeah, let's start a little bit here on the Jacksonville defense. So going into this game, they are ranked in the run game 27th in yards allowed, 25th in rushing yards per game allowed, 12th in yards per rushing attempt, 6 rushing touchdowns allowed. The Eagles have not run the football particularly effectively this year, but the numbers say that's what you do against Jacksonville.
Yeah, I mean, when you talk about last year, Jacksonville's defense, they were nasty up front, linebackers that are fast flow guys that get after you just a bit. This year, they've been very porous as far as against the run game. To us, that's something that we have to recommit to. I think Doug Peterson, as we travel over to London, has to be recommitted to the run game, making this defense play honest because they have 2 very good corners in A.J. Bouye as well as Jalen Ramsey that are going to press guys on the outside and make it difficult to complete the ball down the field.
And they are first in the NFL in passing yards allowed per game, 179.7 yards. So something has to give. Now, offensively, Jacksonville's been a disaster. Blake Bortles on the bench on Sunday in the loss the Jaguars had. So Cody Kessler, former Cleveland Brown, looks like he'll be the starter in London. And Brian, I got to believe that Jim Schwartz is going to tee off on Cody Kessler.
If I'm Jim Schwartz, I'm saying I'm throwing everything at him. I'm going to be so aggressive. I'm blitzing, and I know that's not something that Jim Schwartz likes to do. But why not? Why wouldn't you blitz this guy? Make sure that this offense doesn't have any confidence from the very beginning, the first play of the game. I'm going to blitz. I'm going to play my cornerbacks up tight, make Kessler make tight, contested throws to the receivers. And if they can complete them, great, then I'll play a little bit differently. But unless they can do that, unless they convince me defensively that they can complete the ball down the field, I'm going to get after this football team. I'm not as worried about Cody Kessler's arm or his ability to get outside the pocket and run the football.
And he's throwing to receivers Keelan Cole, D.D. Westbrook, Dante Moncrief. These are not exactly explosive receivers. The Jaguars losing their best receiver, Marcus Lee, early before the season started, ACL surgery. So that was a big loss for them. Losing Fournette, a big loss for them. Very similar to what the Eagles have gone through. Losing Mike Wallace, losing Jay Ajayi. 2 struggling teams, Brian, but 2 teams that really need this win. And a win at the halfway point can mean a lot going into the bye week.
Both teams should be very hungry. Jacksonville as well as we're very hungry as well. We have to turn things around, change what's been going on. If we're able to do that, then we have a lot of season ahead. And that's the same way that Jacksonville is saying 2 hungry football teams playing in London. I think this is a great matchup for us.
So it's a road trip of a different kind. The Eagles' first game in the regular season ever in London. Preseason games in 1989 and 1991. Were you born then?
I was born in the 70s. I'm a 70s baby.
Are you really?
Absolutely.
That old? I was actually at those games covering it for Eagles Digest.
Wow.
But I don't look at
You're old school now. You still look young.
My man. Brian Westbrook, Dave Spadaro. That's our first look at Sunday's opponent in London, the Jacksonville Jaguars.